Doug, hello. Welcome to my channel. So today I found this picture of these gorgeous poppies and I felt like I have to paint them. Oops, I didn't press record. Alright, we're good. Press record on that one too. There we go. Okay, so we are going to start with the background. Oh, actually, I'm going to keep drawing. I haven't quite finished the drawing. So I've got to draw some more of these seed bud bits, because there's buds going off in every direction. There's lots of green in this, lots of different colours. So, oops, is my camera working? Yes. So, just did things. Uh-oh. There we go, we're back. I've got a new webcam. It's a phone app thing. But, anyway, so yes, so I'm, popping some more bud bits in. It needs more buds. I'm just having a quick look at the big screen just to make sure it's looking all right. Because there's around here, there's one there, there's one there. There's a ton of like leafy grassy bits down here. I don't know how I'm going to go around them all, but I will. Pop a little bud there. I just need some more detail in the centre. And they've got like prickly little furry little branchy bits. And they're quite long and tall, so I'll come down here because I sort of scribbled in the basics but hadn't really popped any detail. That one actually has a petal that comes around there. You can't see the innards of this one. I'll just pop little rough lines down around there. That one is quite ripply. They are beautiful, beautiful flowers. That one's all sort of squished up. Hello Shane, how you going, doll? So I'll pop that down and around there. How's mum going? How's mum feeling? And how are you going and feeling? Alright, so come down and around here. Pop. Okay, so I've got just about, I'm not going to worry about all the little bits off that side. I think I'm going to leave those. Okay, so I'm going to get onto the background. Where's my cloth? Where's my cloth? Doing great, mum's fine. Oh, good. Glad to hear it, mate. Very glad to hear. So the background of this is indigo. I'm going to do it indigo because it's a night sky. It's the same picture that you can see on the thumbnail. So what have you been up to, Shane? How have you been and what you been doing, doll? So I'm going to wet all of the background. And I've got indigo on my brush, which doesn't matter. So I'm using Saunders Waterford paper today because I've run out of my arches. I used it all because I love it. So I've ordered some more, so hopefully postage going well. It'll be here in a week or so. So I'm going to come down and around here. Pick all that up there, carry it round down the bottom. I'm going to fill the whole page. I've got to be careful to leave the stalky bits though. Be careful to leave the stalk. Working a lot. Oh, okay. Well, it's good for the bank account. But yeah, getting back into the swing, back to the ways of old, huh? We're still in lockdown and probably will be till Christmas. But we'll see. Time will tell. Doesn't matter anyway. I'm happy on my farm. So I come down and around here. I'll leave a little gap of white there. Got to leave a bit more stem. So this is the first layer. I'll probably darken up, add a couple more layers down the track. These poppies are going to be the central focus. So just this little group of poppies in the centre. Take that right down to the bottom. like that. I've got to try and do the whole background in quickly. I should be working wet in wet, but interestingly, this paint copes really well with just going in wet on dry. So that means wet paint, dry paper. My brush is melting. It's losing its winter coat. Not to worry. So come down, leave a little gap for the stem there. A little gap. And we've got a big old stormy day coming up today, so the weather's going to be entertaining. Hopefully it holds out long enough for me to get my stream done before, usually when we get storms we have power blackouts. So hopefully I'll get through my stream. Alright, how's the farm as you start the road to spring? Really good, everything's really good. We've got tons of grass. Well, we'll be able to cut hay again this year. Already they're saying we're going to get a wet summer, hot and wet, which means the grass is going to go crazy. But yeah, our water supply is great. Our tanks are full, which is brilliant, because usually we haven't got completely full tanks by the time we get to, because we're completely rain dependent. So, but our tanks are full, so we don't have to think about, and they've got more rain predicted, so we don't have to think about it, which is really nice. So yeah, all's looking good. I love your poppies. Do these grow on your farm? Hello, Aya. No, they don't. They don't. But I've always loved them. My mum loved poppies. And they're a symbol of remembrance, which I really like. They're just gorgeous. Gorgeous, soft, floaty sort of flowers. Delicate and beautiful. And I just, yeah, I saw this and I just love them. And they're a really simple painting to do, really simple, so I thought I'd share this with you guys because everyone can have a go. And I like the dark background with them. This indigo colour is just gorgeous. My dogs are bouncing on the window. I apologise for bounciness in the background if my table wiggle wobbles. It's my little terror puppies, which I posted a picture of on Instagram yesterday, which eventually I will have in the link below, my Instagram channel. But I have it in my other videos, but I can't upload that just yet until the end of my stream. But yeah, the dogs sleep under my desk when I'm working. But they've decided, because it's spring, how's that goes? That goes right there. We've got the flies are coming out, and the dogs love chasing flies, so they're bouncing all over the room like little yo-yos. But at some places these grow wild on the sides of the roads. I have seen them. They're not native to Australia, I don't think, but they've been dropped and self-seeded over the years. Okay, so I've got to be careful not to cover any of the flowers here. And your art's looking gorgeous, Aya. How's everything going there, and how are all the animals, and how's everything? Right, come down here. Whee, like that. Right to the bottom. Come down there. Oops, I'm going to move that now that I've painted over it by accident. I'll just move it to that way. There we go. Problem solved. I've got to get some more of that indigo onto my palette, which I will do. Alright, where's my indigo gone? There it is. Woo, got way too much in. That doesn't matter, I suppose I'll use it. Okay, come down this side. Whoa, look at that. It's a gorgeous colour. So come up here. And I've got my coffee sitting next to me, but I haven't got time to drink it just yet. I will. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. I seem to always forget my coffees, get completely sidetracked and don't drink them, but I will. I've just got to be a bit careful here. Drag that down, come down there, whoops the days, and then take it right down the front. Down and around. right down there. All right. Trying to keep my strokes sort of big and open. Got to rest my hand on the clean bit of paper, not the wet bit, the dry bit, because I don't want to leave a fingerprint in my work. So I'm going to have to leave my hands. I should have worked left to right. Famous last words. I always work in the wrong direction. Not quite sure, because I'm right-handed, I think I just do it naturally, instantly do it. Not a great habit, but anyway. And then I come down here. Is that a bud? That's a flower, okay. Fill that in. Doesn't matter if it's a bit blotchy, because I will go over it eventually. I can add some dark. I'm going to add a bit darker to the other side. I come right down to the bottom of the page like that. And I'm not very good at using the there's a thing you can use, what's it called, to protect you put it on and it's like a glue almost, and you pop it on your paper and it protects your white paper, and then at the end you rub it off. Masking fluid. I'm not very good at using it, so I try to leave the whites, and I just missed and I made a mess. So I'm going to try and lift that out. Get a clean brush and go over that while it's still wet, and hopefully I can lift it off. Yep, I got it. Okay, that's fine. That'll do. I can pop a little bit of gouache over that bit if I need to. So I come down there, I'll tidy that up after. And it can be a bit loose, like a bit more expressive. That's the beauty of watercolour. You can be a little bit more expressive. Whoop. I don't mind. I quite like the textures that watercolour gives. Keeps things interesting. I've moved my camera, so I keep looking in different spots. So I apologise, peeps. I rearranged my room just a little bit. Alright, so come down and around. Leave a little gap there. Whoops. There's a stem going up there. And then these flowers are vibrant red. So I'm very excited. Very excited to get into the vibrant reds. I'm going to go over this background again now, just a little bit. Try and get a bit more pigment around. But we'll see how we go. While the paper's still damp, it's drying quick because it's quite warm here today. Oops, a daisy. That's just my dogs barking at kangaroos out the front. They make a lot of noise, excuse them. Oh my goodness, I'll shut the door. Oh no, she's gone outside, that's fine. Okay, we're good. They sound like a pack of hounds, my little dogs, when they're barking. Gotta quickly get into these spots, and I'll drag that down and soften it. That's my washing machine, which I thought I'd shut the washing machine door, but I mustn't have. So I'm just going to clean my brush and dampen it a little bit and just drag that end down, bottom down. Like that. Soften these edges. Alright. Go over here. So yeah, I'll get the background on and solid. Well, not solid, but all filled in and a little bit darker than I've got it. Because this does dry back a couple of tones lighter. These are my core watercolours, and these are fast becoming my favourite just for their intensity, and their flow is incredible. Alright, I've got a little bit of a hair happening up there, but I'll pick that out when it's dry. Alright. My brush has decided to lose its fur. Alright, come down here. Just darken up. Get a little bit more indigo on the brush. Indigo is my favourite colour of all time. Pop that in there. And they're beautiful green. They're a lime green, so that's going to be fun trying to mix that. I might actually go to my Sennelier watercolours for that green, because I think I've got a lime green in that kind of a colour. All right, so I'll come down. Oops, come down here. The wind's starting to pick up outside, so I just want to darken up between these buds. I can hear the wind roaring out the window. So take this right down there. We're just about got the background blocked in. So this is actually quite a simple painting, and if you look at these poppies, they're just loose sort of semicircle shapes. They're really simple and easy to draw. I've gone with pretty much the same composition that's in the photo in the thumbnail, because I really just like this photo. I love the dark background, I love the bright red poppies. I loved everything about it. It just had a real moody feel to it, which I really enjoyed. So I'm going to continue on. I'm using my silver black velvet brushes, which I love. They hold a ton of pigment and water, which is always handy for watercolours. So just going to darken up. I reckon I'm just about sorted with the background. You can see I've got quite a large taped off bit down there. I decided when I drew it that it needed to be, I needed to lose some of that bottom. I didn't need it to go right down there, so I just taped it up so I don't have to paint it. Righto, we're getting there, we're getting there. So that's basically the shape of the poppies cut out with the background. And it doesn't matter that I've missed little bits here and there of the, you know, I can see I've gone over the stems a little bit, and if I want to, I can touch them with gouache later and just take back that white that I've lost on the paper if I want to. But we'll see how the mop flops. So I hope everyone's having a lovely day. It's Friday here, and it doesn't really make any difference, but I'm still excited because I love Fridays. I love weekends. I love Fridays. And we've been in lockdown for like 200 odd days, all up. And so we can't go anywhere or do anything. But yeah, I still love weekends. I still get excited at the weekend. It's bizarre, but I've always loved weekends. But yeah, it's Friday. Woohoo! But I'll just be doing this because this is what I do. Right, I reckon I'm pretty good with that. I'm pretty happy. Now I've got to let it dry a little bit. I do have a hairdryer here, but I shan't deafen you all with it. So I'll just work on this poppy here that's dry-ish. I'll have a sip of my coffee first. How's that sound? Let's do that. Yum. Okay, so I am going to clean my brush, not in my blue water. I probably need to get rid of the blue water because that pigment, that indigo, really makes your paint, your water go bright. Hang on. Oh, there we go. No, I dropped it in my coffee. Now I can't drink any coffee. Isn't that great? Okay. I finally actually remember to drink my coffee, and I can't drink the bloody coffee because I put blue pigment in it. Anyway, I'll just get another pot of water, shall I? Top that up. We'll forget the coffee. Boo-hoo. I'm sad now. I was so excited to drink my coffee for once. Okay. So, but on a happy note, let's get back into the painting. So, I'm going to get what colour am I going to use? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to go in with, these actually have a bit of orange in them. I'm going to get a bit of test paper. A bit of paper that I can do Westies on. Right, so grab a little brush. I don't need a big brush for these because they're quite small. Okay. And I'm going to test my orange. I'm just going to have a look at transparent pyrrole orange as opposed to, because that's a bit of a, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work. It's a little bit browny. Oh, but then again for the base, because the bases of them, and then I've got pyrrole red, which I'll use for the main colour, maybe. Oh my god, I'm having trouble here. Go on, get in there. There we go. That's a good poppy colour. But I reckon that for the base, because that'll let the warm tones come through. And now I've got to find a stem colour. Let's find a stem colour. And they are a citrusy green. I might actually go to my senneliers for that. And I've got a phthalo green light. Let's have a look at that. Whoa. Oh, that's a nice vibrant green. Okay, well that might do for that. And then they've got a little bit of they're darker at the bottom. Okay, I think we're good. I think we've sorted our colours. So I am going to go with the pyrrole orange on the first layer on these. So this one down here, I'm actually going to go, I'm going to wet it. It doesn't matter that I've got a little bit of orange on my brush because it's going to go on there anyway. Because the red, the stronger red is a darker colour. So it'll cover that anyway, and you'll just see that that's sort of the warmth of this coming through. Just going to stay away from the edges a little bit. Like that, literally just blocking them in. That's like I'm just blocking in, and this is just the base colour for them, and keeping them as simple as possible. Less is more. Famous last words. I always end up fiddling and doing more, and then more is more. But I'm going to try and be less is more. Ooh, is that going to flow up there? No, we're good. So come down. I just had to be careful that I didn't go up onto the blue. I nearly got close to it, and I can come down onto that flower because they touch. So those two are sort of blocked in, just staying away from the blue a little bit. Okay. That's still a little bit damp around the edges, but I'll just be a bit careful. Oh, it has its bloomed out at the bottom. Poop. Okay, that's fine. I can touch that with my cloth and lift it up. And I can always go over that with a little bit of indigo at the end as well, just to cover up any bits that do happen to do strange things like that, because this does travel incredibly fast, this paint. This is core watercolours, and it does travel very fast. Like it flows like no other paint that I've got. It just has a life of its own, which is really cool, but can be a little bit scary and traumatic when it goes wrong. When your paint ends up totally in the other side of the page where you don't want it, and you sort of go, how did that happen? But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to come here. So this one's just sort of like it's all mushed up. This poppy's all gone all flippy floppy. So it's a floppy poppy. So I'm going to draw me floppy poppy. You can see I'm leaving little gaps around the edges, which doesn't matter because I'll be going over it with red on all of them pretty much. Just painting me floppy poppy, and then come down and around here. We go there, and I'm going to cut it. What's going on there? Oh, that's a weird looking bud. So, is it? Yes, it is. Okay, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it into a normal looking bud. So I'm just going to paint over the top and go like that, and that can be the bud there. I've decided I'm changing it a little bit. And you can do that. That's the beauty of watercolour. You can change things on the go a little bit. It doesn't have to be exactly to plan. And you can see this is very diluted. Like it's very watery. Like very, very watery. And very pale in colour. Which is fine. Because I want it to be the base. And I want them to look soft, because they're soft and delicate and gorgeous. They're the most dainty things. Note to self, put your brush in the right pigment. I'm so disappointed about my coffee. I'm very clumsy. I'm always spilling stuff in stuff and non-stuff. And alright, so come down and around here. I need to have a coffee machine in here. That's what I need. I did have one once, but then I kept forgetting to bring the milk in. And I need milk in my drink. Okay, so I'm going to plop in the orange onto this top one, and the centres of these are black. So it doesn't, I can go over the whole centre with the light colour. And it's always handy to have a test sheet for when you're picking your colours and mixing your colours. And this I'll probably mix a shadow tone, but generally I can go with straight colours, which is nice. Keeps it simple, especially if you're just starting watercolour. I mean, it's always good to learn your colour mixing and your theory and all that, but sometimes it's just nice to go in with what colours you've got and not have to stress and not make it all scientific and scary, and just have fun. And you can see I've left little bits of light around the edges. So now I'm going to pop onto, that's dry enough I think. I'm going to go in with my phthalo, that's that one. Yep, that's my phthalo green light, which is the scariest bright green I think I've got. Because these stems on these are just divine and they're very bright. So I'm going to carefully pop down onto the buds and all the doodads, and I can tone them down a little bit with shadows at the end, but I'm just blocking in for the second. Oops, and that doesn't matter, that's gone up into the orange because I can go over that with the red, and I only need the teeniest, tiniest little bit of this. So this is a sennelier colour. This is actually sennelier. Ah! Got it on the orange there. Oh, I missed a bit where my blue goes, but that's okay. I'll pop that in. I can touch up little bits that I miss. And I don't mind if I leave little snips of the white paper, because that adds, you know, a little bit of sparkle. So I'd come down there, come right down to the bottom of the page. Come down here. And this is very loose, like very impression-y, because I'm a wildlife artist. I work a lot more with animals, painting animals and things. I'm starting to branch out and do all different stuff now. I'm starting to try and be a bit braver and do more of the things. Get into more subjects. I've started seascapes and landscapes, and I've only been doing flowers for like 6 months or so, maybe not even 6 months. I started trying to paint flowers, and that's been fun because they're sort of abstract. They've got an abstract feel to them. You can go a little bit wild with them. They don't have to be exactly like photographs or exactly like real life. You can get away with it a little bit. They've got a little bit more freedom to them, as opposed to painting an animal. If you get it wrong, it looks really wrong. So yeah, it's fun. This is fun to try and do. You know, I recommend trying different things, even if you're scared a little bit. I was really concerned. I did a landscape the other day, a cityscape, and I was actually worried. I don't usually worry about painting. I got nervous about painting it because it's not something that I do. But it's fun. Afterwards I thought, oh, that wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. But yeah, so I recommend having a go at anything you think. Even if you're nervous, just have a go. In worst scenario, you've had practice and you work out you do or don't like doing it. But I'm actually enjoying trying all different things. I'm going to have to pop a little bit of gouache there, I think. Yes, I'm very much enjoying the journey, and I've drawn all my life, and I'm more of a drawer than a painter. I've always struggled with colour. I'm very much a drawer. I love sketching things. So if anyone would like to have just a drawing tutorial, I love doing that too. But like just ballpoint pen. I love just ballpoint pen and just drawing animals, just drawing anything really. So if you want a drawing tutorial on how I draw, just pop it down in chat down below. That would be awesome. Or if there's anything you'd like to see, I'll have a go at just about anything within reason. But yeah, flowers are fun at the second. So alright, so I reckon we're good. I'll strengthen that one a little bit. Ooh, stays. I've got the wobblies. My hands are wobbly. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone now. And I'm going to go into my red. I'm going to clean my thingy. Hello, Sassy. Caught you today. Love poppies and good morning. Thank you, mate. Good morning. Me too. They're just gorgeous. They are gorgeous. So I've just done the base layers. And now I'm going to clean my palette a little bit. Get rid of my orange because I'll pop my red where my orange is. And clean that. Me blue's gone on all different directions. So I'll pop that out. Righto, so now I've got a clean palette for my red bits. And I'm just going to go in with Pyrrole Red Light. I can use a bit of magenta to darken it down, like I've got a bit of a dark magenta. Because I've got to do shadow areas. They're very bright on top. So I'm going to start with this bottom left, because I always start with the wrong ones. I always start right to left, and I need to not do that. So I'm going to go on to this one. And now the blue in the background is dry, I can go right up to the edges and fill these in. I don't have to do petal for petal, but I'm doing it because it just makes it easier for my brain to figure out where things are and where things need to be. Because these have quite a lot of shadows, good folds in them, and they're quite beautiful. And that orange, that underneath orange, will show through because this does dry back quite pale, but it'll just help to warm it up. Alright, there's a fold there. I'll leave a little bit of the orange, come right down there. What I'll do actually is I'm going to lift a little bit of that off there. So just touch that with my cloth in my hand, lift a tiny little bit off, just get my damp brush, wet it and touch it with the cloth, and that'll create that little highlight onto that petal. I'm actually going to go, I'm going to get, what colour am I going to get? I'm going to try my magenta, or am I going to go crimson? I'm going to go crimson. I'm going to grab a bit of crimson for in this dark bit underneath, like that, down the bottom, and I'm just going to let that flow a little bit. There's actually a bit that comes up there and onto there, and let that go down like that. So they can just be a suggestion almost, like it doesn't have to be. I'm just going to leave that alone. I quite like that. I'm going to work on this one up here now. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult. Not really sure why, what brand are you using? I'm actually using a mixture today. I've got my Saunders Waterford watercolour paper. I usually use Saunders Waterford or Arches, and it's hot press. No, sorry, it's cold press, so it's rough. I've actually got my Sennelier watercolours and my Core watercolours today. I'm using both. The Sennelier is the green and the Core is everything else. So I've only had the Core a few weeks and I absolutely love it. It just flows like nothing else. It's amazing. I'm just going to wet my brush a bit more. Take that down towards the centre, let it flow a little bit. And come up. And I've left little gaps around the edge because the blue wasn't quite dry when I popped the orange on, so I had to be a little bit careful. You can see it sort of bloomed around the edge there, but that's fine. So I can go right up to the edge. I can leave little bits of sparkle, little bits of paper. I always call the white paper sparkle because to me it's like little sparkles, little bits of jewellery. Alright, so I'll let that dry a little bit. Actually I can pop a little bit of the magenta into the middle. I'm just going to grab a bit more onto my palette and pop that, because this is black in the middle, but I'm going to go in a little bit like that. You can see how the Core colour flows like crazy. It's amazing how this stuff flows like that. Then I might take it up there a little bit and let it flow. Go into there. It's darker around here. Just to suggest the shapes of the leaves or petals. And I'll go over that with an even darker colour at the end, but I'll pop in some veiny bits in a minute, but not yet. Not ready for that yet. That can be the detail at the end. Pop it there. Okay, now I'm going to leave that one alone. Leave that one alone. Start down and go down to this one. I'll probably get rid of that bit of paper there now. Okie doke. So, grab me red, Go on to this one. I need a bit more red. I've got it a bit too diluted. A little bit too diluted. Where did you get the core from? I ordered it online from New South Wales. There's a shop in Sydney that has it called, or the Sydney Art Store. So I got it sent down. And you can buy it in sets, or you can buy it in individual tubes. They're quite expensive, but it goes a long way. Like, I've got years out of my sennelier tubes. I'm going to get double out of the core because the core just flows. You only need a teeny tiny little bit. But you'd get a ton out of the core. Like, I'll get years out of the tubes. I've barely made it. I've been using this solidly every day for weeks, and I've barely made a dent in my pans that I've put out. But it's very different. It does flow differently, but I've adjusted to it pretty quick, and I really like it. I like the flow of it, the freedom of it. So yeah, I highly recommend it as a quality product, and it's vibrant. It's just that little bit stronger than the other colours, because sennelier is gorgeous, but it's got a real sort of softness to it, where this has got a strength, real strength to it. But it does, you can see how it when it flows, it sends out little sort of feelers. The way it flows out, it's unusual in the way it flows. But yeah, I'll pop a link below to the store that I got it in Australia. So if any Australians are watching, it's where I got it from. I'll pop a link in, because they're really good, and they're very, very fast and efficient at getting it to you too. All right, come down there. Right, I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. Oh, and that would be my dog. I apologise. A bit more red. I've got to strengthen this one up a bit more. Goodness gracious. And there's storms around, and Pippi doesn't really like storms. She made me jump then. I'm waiting for the 36 set of white nights, but I have all sorts of brands like My Mary Blue, Winsor & Newton, Daniel Smith, Schminky, Van Gogh. Cool. Yeah, my favourites up until this. I'm not a fan of Daniel Smith. I like his indigo, but it's not my thing. It just does nothing for me. Sennelier, love it. Schminky, love it. I've got, what's it called? It's one of the White Nights ones, but it's not White Nights. It's, what's it called? And I use that. I travel with that. I took that to New Zealand and painted with it. What is it called? St. Petersburg. But I think that's because there's White Nights and then there's St. Petersburg, which are I think they're made by the same people. And I love them. They're really, really strong, really nice. I've never tried May Marie. Never tried that one. Seen it, but never tried it. But I've got so many watercolours. Small. Oh no, I haven't even heard of those. Roman small. Ooh. Oh, and I've got the good old Australian Art Spectrum, which I really like. That I've had forever and ever and ever. Not the same company. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't even heard of those ones. So I'm going to come around here. And I had Van Gogh, but I had the student set. I didn't have the artist quality set. So I'd like to, I enjoyed the student quality ones, but I'd like to try the artist quality ones. And I've got Winsor & Newton, but I rarely use it. I prefer my other ones. And these are fast becoming my new favourite. So I'm popping a little bit of St. Petersburg is Roman small. Is it? Okay. I've never heard of Roman small. Well, that's interesting, very interesting. But yeah, I love them. I love them for travelling. I take them travelling with me whenever I go anywhere because they're really handy and they're good strong colours and they're affordable. They're really cheap. I can get them, the pans of them, quite cheap here. Big pans too, massive pans. I just assumed it was the Russian one because St. Petersburg is Russia. Alright, so come down here. Block in this one now, so that's actually got folds. I've got to let that dry a little bit, but I've got the bases sort of in. So now I'm going to get onto, come back onto this one. There's sort of a fold there. While it's still damp, I can get little just impressions of the Adamstown has Renaissance. I'm looking at them, but they're very transparent. Ooh, yeah, I like Adamstown art. I use Sydney Art Store and Adamstown are my main ones, and here in Melbourne, Holbein's look incredible. Holbein's do look incredible. I would love to try them. That is one brand I would love to try because I have heard great things about them, but I've got too many. Mind you, one can never have too many, but I've got way too many. And I mean, you can't use them all, but I have different ones for different purposes. Like my wildlife art, I use my Schminky and Sennelier and Art Spectrum. Flowers, I seem to be using my Sennelier and my Core. And gouache, love gouache in ex-Melbourne Girl. Oh, cool! Yeah, I love Art House Direct. They've been great to me. And they're handy. I can just jump in, well, when we're allowed to go out, I can jump in the car and go down there and they get anything you want. If you haven't got it, they'll get it for you. They're incredible. And the staff are gorgeous and they're nearly all artists, and so you can really ask questions, and they've got teachers on site and all kinds of stuff. So, which is very handy. And if they haven't got it, they'll get it. Not tried gouache. I love my gouache. I've got Sennelier and Schminky gouache. Today I was like, oh, do I do these in gouache? But I just wanted it to be a bit more flowy. But yes, I love gouache. I don't know if I've got a gouache painting handy. Do I have a gouache painting handy? I don't. Oh, hang on. Yes, I do. Just bear with me. Oh. In my cupboard, in my bag of tricks. Oh. There we go, that's gouache. That's a gouache painting. So it's just more opaque. That's all. It's just the same as watercolour. I treat it the same as watercolour, but it's opaque. So you can go over it light. You can work dark to light if you want. So, but it has the same feel as watercolour to use. It's just, but it lifts really easy. Like it re-lifts. If you can't, wet and wet, you make a mess. Yeah, gouache is beautiful and I can highly recommend. I haven't used many brands. I've only used Sennelier and Schminky, and I love both of them, and I got them from the Sydney stores. I ordered them from, I think I got them from Adamstown in New South Wales. Adamstown Art. But you know, they're great. They're both great stores. Great people, great stores. So I'm going to start, now I can get into the detail a little bit. So, I've got to strengthen up, I've got to darken up here, but I'm going to pop. I'm going to make, I might even use a little touch of gouache on these, just a little touch at the end, right at the very end. I'm going to make a black, and to make that I use burnt umber. Where's burnt umber? I'm going to use a natural black. So I go burnt umber, and I add blue, and that makes a really, really, really dark greyish brown. It makes a grey all the way through to a black, depending on the quantities of paint you use. So if you use a lot more brown than blue, it tends to go grey. If you use a lot more blue, it gets more of a black tone to it. So I like to make, if I can, so that's just brown and blue. That's burnt umber and blue, and my washing machine singing at me saying I'm finished. So pop that in there. There's a little bit of very dark on the back of that one. You can just see in the center of some of these. I can't see the center of that one. Can't see the center of that one, but I can see the center of this one. So pop that right against that there. So that already starts to look like poppies. We're starting to get there. I can pop a little bit around the backs of them like that. That helps to give them a little touch of form, like that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And they've got that papery soft look that I really like. So this is incredibly loose, guys, like incredibly loose. I'm going to grab a bit more of my crimson. And I'm going to pop, now I can start with the detail now. Pretty much I can start with the detail. Hello Candid, how you going, doll? How are you today? Lovely to see you, doll. I'll come down and around here. How are you finding your new watercolours? Hello, Ariane. Welcome, welcome. So I'm going to come around there because that petal is sort of cupped. I've got to be a bit careful I don't overdo it. Go the direction of the petals. Try and keep it soft. I've got to be so careful not to overdo it. Just suggest that things going in different directions. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to leave that alone. Doing great. How are you? I'm great, thanks, Dale. I'm wonderful. I'm always happy when I'm here streaming and painting and arting. Always happy. And it's the weekend, so I'm very excited. I love weekends. Even though I can't go anywhere or do anything, I still love weekends. So yeah, very excited. It's Friday. Friday fun day it is. Really like them. Just did another painting today. Oh cool, what did you paint? What did you do today? So I can just start to, this is really dark down here, but I'm just going to use this. I might even add a little bit of indigo. Let's see what happens if I go clean my brush, grab a little bit of indigo, grab a little bit of my crimson, make a dark purple just for down in here. That's almost the right colour. It's going to darken up because that is nearly in full shadow down there. It's after midnight though. I have a birthday. Oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ariane. Happy birthday to you. Oh, it's your dad's birthday today. So I painted a picture of my mum's hands holding some of his garden harvest. Oh, nice. Gorgeous. I look forward to seeing it. Very good. All right, so I'm going to leave that one alone now. I'm going to start on these ones. I've got a, oh yeah, I do need to darken up in here. I'm going to grab a bit more pure crimson and pop it up into this petal here. So this is very simple. I'm just adding shadowy bits. I just needed a little bit more definition in a few spots, just to give it a little bit more life and form. I was hoping to get out for a bicycle ride. I've been cycling around the hill behind our house because we're only allowed to travel 5 k's from home, or within 5 k's from home. Luckily I live in the mountains, so I've been riding my bike up in the mountains. Oh my God, I've been doing hills. Oh, it's hard. Hills hurt. But it's so pretty up in the hills, so pretty up in the mountains. But yeah, I've been cycling. I was hoping to get out today, but it's looking a bit, maybe a little bit too stormy for me, I think. I'm not good at lightning. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit now, I think. Leave that alone. I'll pop some more red on top in there eventually. Strengthen up that, because that one looks a bit strange. You always end up with one flower that looks a little bit odd. It's like any picture I do, I always end up with one thing, one part of the picture that I always go, not sure that worked, but anyway, yeah, I always end up with one picture that I get a bit concerned about, like in every painting. If it's an animal, there'll be a herd of animals. There'll be one animal will be like, don't like that one. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Just drag it around a little bit and soften it. Get back onto this one. This one's got, okay, it's got a petal that's sort of wrapped around. I'm like, what is that thing in the middle of that flower? But it's a petal bit that's wrapped around. So they're really simple, really simple. How long has it taken me? That's 50 minutes. That's not bad. 50 minutes. It's quite a fast sort of a painting. The drawing was really simple because they're literally just loose circle shapes. There's really not a lot to them. They're all just circle shapes. It was just like, and I went with the composition of the photograph itself that's in the thumbnail. I didn't change anything much because I thought it's just as easy. I liked the composition of the photograph, so I thought I might as well leave it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's nice when you find a photograph sometimes that you don't have to do anything with. Okay, I'm going to leave that alone because I'm going to get too fiddly. But I've got to add darks to the stems. I like the dark background. Yes, that's what I loved about it. That's what attracted me to the photograph, was the darks. So I'm going to go a dark chromium oxide. Well, it's not dark chromium oxide. I used chromium oxide light for the first green. On the underside, I'm going to go the dark. And I'm just going to very carefully, I need to do it in one sweep. I tend to fiddle and go touch, 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 touch. So I'm just going to add that. Everywhere on the shadow sides of these stalks coming down. I'm not going to attempt to do the fur texture because these stalks have fur texture on them. I'm not going to attempt the furry bits. Not today anyway. I'll get a bit more practice in first. Whoa, I've got the wobbles. I've got the wobbles. There we go. All right. A bit more of that. So yeah, the greens are my sennelier colours. And this is just chromium oxide light, chromium oxide green light, and chromium oxide green. So for the greens, so just taking that round the shadow side. I will have to add a touch of gouache because they do have a little yellow, I don't know, like a little yellow bit in the middle. It's not really, I don't think it's a stamen, I don't know what it is. It could be. I think the little black bits are the stamen, but they're just, or the seeds. Oh, they are, of course they're poppy seeds. Duh. Because I do get poppies growing here because we're the horse food. We have poppy seeds. Horses love poppy seeds. So in their horse food, because we've got horses here on the farm, we pop poppy seeds, and it makes because of the oil in the poppy seeds, makes their coats go beautiful and shiny. Can you show the photo? I can. It was actually in the thumbnail, but I can also show you the photograph. Is that. So I've changed it just a fraction. So that's the photo that I'm working from. And that's the painting. So you can see I've changed it a little bit and moved things around, but I haven't got anywhere near as much detail. I've got to figure out how to, I've got to get another webcam and have it up in the corner so you can see what I'm working on usually. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen. So pop my... And I just got the reference photo off Unsplash, which is my favourite reference site ever. Unsplash.com. And I just googled flowers. I googled blooms, and these popped up. And then I went a bit mad and was like, "Whoa, poppies!" Because they're nice and simple. They're a good flower to practice. But yeah, I like the composition. I liked everything about the original piece as well. So I didn't do all the stalky bits and all the grassy bits. And so I'm actually going to grab a little bit of gouache right now. And these are a mixture of sennelier and schminky gouaches. And I have them already in my big old giant doodah palette. I've got a massive palette that I have all my gouaches in because I love gouache. And that keeps forever like that. So I'm just going to go in with a bit of pure yellow because this has a dot. Whoops, I need to get a bit more on my brush. Pop it on my palette. Oh, no, maybe not that much. Because that one has a yellow dot. And it's only the one of them that has it. The others I can't see it. So I'll just pop it in that one. And it's just that subtle, that tiniest little bit. That's all it needs. And I reckon I'm going to take off the tape because I'm going to call that. I reckon I'm happy. You know, it's loose. It's my interpretation of the picture. It's simple. It's fast. It's fun. It's pretty. Yeah. So everyone, have a go if you haven't tried doing. You know, it's nice and simple. These are nice and simple. I'm going to do my autograph down here in the bottom corner, and my brush has gone all hairy. Hang on. Got to de-hairify my brush. Pop my name down here. Like that. And then I can pull off me tapey stuff and we'll see how she looks. I love doing this. This is my favourite bit, when you see when the edges are off. And you can see I changed. I had it all the way down here and then I decided against it. I thought, oh no, I'll just take off that bottom bit. There we go. So we are done. See, that looks pretty cool. It's a fun piece. It's a nice, fun, simple, loose, just have fun with it painting. So thank you everyone for being here. I'll possibly be back tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see how the mop flops. I'm not sure what the family doodahs fell down. Hang on. Well, I'm not sure what the family's up to, but I've got a bit of stuff there. Looks very pretty and delicate. Thank you. Oops, Aquarius is Roman small and St. Petersburg is White Knights. Adamstown stock Roman small. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I thought St. Petersburg was the Russian ones. But yeah, I love them. But yeah, I'll look into the smalls. I haven't heard of them. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here, peeps. I will be back probably at some stage over the weekend for another live stream. No idea what I'm going to paint. If you've got any suggestions on what you would like me to paint or draw or whatever, because I love drawing as well. If you want to see a drawing, a whole process, start to finish, if you want to see any particular kind of painting, pop it in chat. Just ask, recommend something. If you want to see me paint something, draw something, I'll have a go at pretty much anything. So yeah, just pop it down in chat below, and yeah, I'll give me some inspiration, peeps. So thank you so much. I will see you all for next video. I'll be releasing this as a video as well, and also as a time-lapsey thing. What do they call them? A short. So glad we aren't in lockdown. Just mask it and app. And where you go? Yes, yeah, no, we're in lockdown. But that's okay. As long as we're alive and healthy, it'll all come to an end soon enough. But I'll go for my bike ride, but not today because I'll get hit by lightning. So, but anyway, thank you so much for being here, peeps, and I will see you over the weekend at some stage, possibly tomorrow. But yeah, leave a suggestion in chat if you want to see me paint anything in particular. That's going to fall. It's determined to fall no matter what I do. I'm just going to let it do its own. There we go. Anyway, I will catch you all next stream. Thank you so much, guys and girls. I'll catch you later.